Welcome to BEYA Leading Voices. This engaging forum of BEYA's Leading Voices features groundbreaking discoveries, new research at the nation's historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, and winners of the HBCU STEM Innovation Awards. Game-changing innovators at HBCUs are recognized each year at the annual BEYA STEM Conference. And now, BEYA Leading Voices.
Please welcome to the stage Jomel Angat.
Thank you, and good evening to everyone. Thank you for having me today. Thank you to BEYA, and congratulations to all the honored distinguishees. My name is Jomel Angat. I am with the Smart Process Automation and Robotics Center. Before I get started, there was two quick realizations I did want to share. The first is those were amazing tech talks from all the previous speakers. I want to give them a round of applause. But one realization that I did come to is you had PhD to PhD to PhD to retired general, and then me. So I promised I would try my best. The second realization I came to is I'm the last speaker, so I'm the last thing in your way before an evening of networking. So I promise I will try to be succinct, and I appreciate your patience. I wanted to be forward-looking in this tech talk, but in order to understand where we are going, we have to understand where we've been. So I do want to share a little bit of my story. I grew up in Virginia Beach. I went to James Madison University, and much to the delight of my parents, I got a degree in philosophy. And yeah, you can laugh at that part, that's okay. I accepted it. And after that, I went to George Mason University, where I worked on my master's and also was a professor there. And then in about 2001, I joined a technology startup company. At that point, I didn't know what a technology startup company was, quite honestly. I did everything from build cubes to fill the pantry to eventually doing development and then project and program management. So I did that for about 11 years. It was about that time that I realized I needed a new challenge, I needed a new opportunity. So I decided to join Fannie Mae. There you go. Actually, can you go back one slide, please? There you go. First, thank you, Emeka, for talking about Fannie Mae. That did save about 2 minutes of my speech, so everyone will get to networking much faster. So Fannie Mae is a financial services company, and when I got there in 2011, it felt like I jumped in a time machine. They used technologies there that I thought were long extinct. There were oceans of acronyms I didn't understand, and they used strange words like mainframe and waterfall. The tech nerds are laughing inside. You'll get it later. But let's fast forward to today. Today, they have transformed their technologies. We are a first-class, innovative technology company. I'm proud to say that we have adopted and embraced a culture of innovation, which is to mean that we have embraced change as a constant. We adopted a culture of a startup culture, which is basically to say that good ideas can come from anywhere, irrespective or not constrained by the walls of your cube or the walls of your office, nor your role or position, that good ideas can give everyone a voice. And we've institutionalized enterprise innovation, where we have teams that work with fintechs in order to make sure we are not laggards of the industry, but we are pioneers. And we use words like hackathons, Shark Tanks, and other events in order to create a backbone of innovation committed to disruption and creativity. Now, one of the projects that I worked on was on robotics process automation, or RPA. RPA basically is a type of software that can emulate what a user does on the front end. So think of it kind of like a recording, but a little bit more advanced and industrialized. For this project, we actually automated a process that typically took about 80 to 100 hours per month of manual labor. And the success of this project, we actually whittled it down to 5 minutes. So we understood then the value of what this automation would bring with one process. We understood that the processes could be faster, more efficient, and less risky. And so we started to talk about this in roadshows, in demos, and soon thereafter, everyone at the company wanted a robot. So we built a Center of Excellence, or a COE, We wanted to make sure we had just enough governance in order for the technology to get diffused. We established a design authority for consistency and standards. And we made sure we identified first-class training for everyone that wanted to utilize automation. And we espoused the benefits of our intelligent automation operating model. So, when we first did RPA, we quickly began to understand that it became a foundation for other technologies. We quickly understood and institutionalized ways that we could experiment far more. We looked at different emerging technologies and how they could connect to RPA and what we've been calling RPA Plus. So a number of these emerging technologies, the Internet of Things and virtual assistants, we had Shark Tanks where people were connecting Alexas to robots to do things at work. So think about it like Alexa for work. We have discovered digital process automation, which is basically a low-code platform that helps democratize the creation of applications and software, meaning that you don't have to have a computer science degree, and in fact, you probably only need a philosophy degree. And we have leapt forward in terms of artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence really is an umbrella term. It means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, especially Hollywood and different movies. But for the most part, we're talking about things like computer vision. A computer being able to understand what it's looking at and understand and interpret those messages. We talk about natural language understanding and processing and generation, being able to, for a computer to be able to understand conversation both within email and within recording and understand the context and how to respond. And as well as machine learning, be able to understand and see new predictive analytics to get better insights. So emerging technologies combined with RPA allowed us to create this foundation for further advances in our technology. And yet, we thirst for what's next. So what does AI mean for Fannie Mae? Obviously, in terms for us to get more, continue to be competitive, it had a growing relevance in financial service companies. There's not a company anywhere in financial services or most sectors really that isn't exploring AI experiments. We understood that this wasn't just for technology, but the core of our business would equally benefit from advances in AI. And as we started to talk about AI, as everyone started to learn more about it, we discovered new and innovative use cases across the enterprise, from human resources to production support to facilities. There were use cases that emerged throughout the enterprise. We understood that data was essential, and Fannie has a lot of data, and we'd be able to use that really as our way to create a trajectory along our AI journey. Again, we talked about partnerships that allowed us to leverage lessons already learned, so we didn't have to recreate the wheel, and we got to experiment. And this is important because usually we talk about how experiments is failure, right? From Fannie Mae's perspective, we encourage experimenting. That failure is not necessarily a bad thing, that if we fail, we should fail fast and continue to learn and continue to evolve. So failure is fast, is good, and we continue to experiment and to espouse all the benefits of being able to leverage those things and continue to learn as an organization. Now, I'll talk about a couple of these things. AI in financial services, risk modeling. AI will allow us to be able to look at new, larger sets of data so that we can have better models. So something like credit risk, we'll be able to have new insights for that. For customer service, we would be able to provide new insights and anticipate customer issues and answer them much more quickly. I'll jump down to fraud detection and cybersecurity. AI will be able to help us see new patterns of different issues that we would not have further recognized in the past, but now we can identify and provide solutions for. And in business intelligence. Business intelligence will allow us, with AI, to see all of operations, understand where we're using our resources, where we should place our resources, and where we might have gaps, and be able to fill those and have a much more efficient organization. So let's talk more broadly about artificial intelligence. When we talk about how it will impact us in the future, we talk about such things as a digital workforce. What exactly does that mean? It really is the combination of humans and autonomous computers, such as with AI and robots, and be able to utilize those things. The funny thing is that when you think about that, it seems daunting at first, but when you think about it, we use a lot of these technologies at home. That consumer technology drives what a lot of these advances are within business itself. Think about the home automations that you might have, like Alexa or Google Home or your Nest doorbell that you can see people through. All those home automations that you might have. That consumer technology, including things such as your smartphone, which has AI built into it, are further advances that you use every day at home. One of the running jokes at Fannie Mae is that sometimes, in the past, we were Jetsons at home, Flintstones at work. Meaning that we use such inventive technology at home, but where was it at work? That will soon catch up. But the key to all of this is that we are creating capacity for more value-added activities. At Fannie, diversity is one of our greatest strengths, but part of the problem is that we're spending a lot of time in mundane, mind-numbing, boring tasks that, quite honestly, could be easier done by a robot and allow us to have more time innovating. We need to focus on doing things such as upskilling and training people to be prepared for the digital workforce and increase our digital dexterity, which is simply to say we need to understand and be willing to and be able to work with these newer technologies within the workplace. So these workplace advances will help drive how the workplace changes in the future. Imagine that you are in your self-driving car. You're going to work. You are talking to your virtual assistant on your smart glasses while in the middle of a holographic meeting, waiting for your cryptocurrency paycheck while working anywhere in the world or even beyond. There are so many things that could come as part of AI and a lot of these technologies. And at Fannie Mae, while we may not be the ones creating some of those technologies, we have embraced this culture of change. We have embraced this culture of technology and understand that in order to continue to be competitive and also to be able to hire the best people and to be the most successful company, we have to be able to move with the market. And with that, Fannie really has adopted this culture of change, and it's going to be amazing, I think, where they are going to go in the next couple of years. And as we continue to grow RPA and a number of these other technologies, we will continue to also thirst for what's next. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us for this video presentation of BEYA Leading Voices. This program was recorded at the 2019 BEYA STEM Conference held at the Marriott Boardman Park in Washington, D.C. For more on BEYA's Leading Voices, please subscribe to U.S. Black Engineer and IT Magazine or visit www.blackengineer.com. To learn about the BEYA STEM Conference, visit www.beya.org.